Hey everybody, so this is part 2 of the intuition correlation series with your physical health, your well-being and all of that, and just really taking care of yourself. What really started this for me was not just my diet change that I made last year when I cut out gluten, dairy, and caffeine and felt incredible for a whole week until I just reverted back to my old diet. So that was part of the goal, and also a quote that John Holland said in one of his books, that you are your psychic equipment, so you have to take care of yourself. So I was like, this year, I definitely want to take care of myself, and I want to see how it actually affects my intuition, my psychic abilities, my mediumship abilities, and all of that. So I've been really putting it to the test these past couple of weeks, and I'm super excited to share it with you. But before I share it with you, I need to be honest just real quick, because I look at my analytics and I've been noticing that many of you are watching, many of you are returning, but are not subscribed. So subscribe to my channel because it's free and it's a great way to support me and what I do, and I really appreciate it. Plus, we are so close to 1,000 subscribers. I've been working on this all of last year because I never really took YouTube seriously until last year. And then I went from 150 subscribers to where I'm at now. So I would really appreciate the subscription. So anyway, let's get back to the video. I want to touch base with you about a couple of things. Oh, also, this is just a really cool manifestation thing that happened, but I want to share it because I'm super excited about it and I'm about to complete this little project today. I got a interview with Authority Magazine. Can you believe it? To talk about intuition. So I will share that with you. It's not published yet. I actually did a video with it. So the video will be up probably sometime this week. Today is March 17th, 2026. So I'm probably going to post this video possibly first or second. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, fully backlogged on videos right now to edit. So trust me, I have a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out here soon, especially like mediumship readings, but editing just takes me forever. So again, like I said, I need to hire an editor, and that's going to be coming sometime this year for sure. Probably a lot sooner than I expected. Anyway, so from the superpower blood test that I did earlier this year, again, to test for any type of deficiencies that I may have, because I just want to make sure I'm filling in all the blocks, okay? Like the best version of myself. So that's what we're working on. And I showed you the 3 supplements that I got previously in the first video, which was magnesium, an iron supplement, and omega-3 for cholesterol and stuff. So then I got the other 2 like a week after, and that is the vitamin D and K2, and then the vitamin C to kind of help me with the iron absorption. Now, since I was so anemic, I think this is why I noticed this change almost right off the bat, is because the iron supplement, in like 3 days, I have more energy. I was waking up, like I have to get up at 6 in the morning, like every day. And usually I drag my feet, like I don't want to get out of bed. But after taking that for like literally 3 days, I was getting up out of bed. I had so much more energy. I was not dragging my feet. I was a little bit more clear-minded. I think I could be a lot more clear-minded, but we're getting there, right? And it was just pretty good. The other things though is, I guess this might take a little bit longer for me to notice the full effects, because some of these things, like you have to take more at a long-term basis than, just 4 weeks or so. So I'm still working on that, still seeing the benefits and seeing how it affects me with my intuition. My diet, however, could be better. I'm not going to lie or cover it up. I've really been slipping up on my diet. A lot of processed junk that I kind of slipped in, but I'm trying to measure and like balance it out with the healthy stuff. Put a candy bar in front of me and it's game over, okay? I have like no willpower to stop me from eating a candy bar. And the worst thing is that if you guys seen the Dubai chocolate bars that have the pistachio filling on the inside, and like literally the serving size is like 2 blocks, well, I eat like the whole bar in like one sitting. It's bad. So yeah, I'm like, don't buy it anymore. So yeah, so I'm really trying to be very strict and very stern with not getting all the process. I'm just really trying to say like, hey, no, you're not going to do it. Don't screw this up. I always go into like the whole thing like, well, it's only just this time and it's not going to really hurt that bad, which it won't. Like, I don't really think it's going to affect my mediumship and my intuition that bad. But again, I still want to just do all I can to really see how better my readings can be, how better things can be, just overall be the best version of myself, right? Like, who doesn't want that? And the other thing that I added was just a light exercise routine. Now, I'm not a weightlifter. I don't go to the gym or anything like that. Usually I'm much more of a walker. I love to walk. So I bought a treadmill. It's just a little portable treadmill, and to me it's not that portable. It's kind of heavy, but it has wheels. You can like move it. And then I got this desk that's supposed to be adjustable, but I mean, what do you expect? Getting like the cheapest adjustable desk off of Amazon. It is crap, but hey, it works for me. It works for now, so I'm not complaining. And yeah, so then when I'm working, my actual, like my day job, I'll be on my computer talking to patients. I'm typing, I'm walking at the same time. I'm on the phone and I'm walking, and I love it because I'm getting my steps in, reaching like, health goals there while still doing my job. So there's that. That's pretty fun. Anyway, I know that you've all been kind of waiting. You're probably thinking like, okay, like how does this affect your spirituality and your mediumship? So let's get into that. So I did 3 recently. Like I did 3 recorded readings. Well, actually 2 recorded readings because the first one I forgot to record. So I'll tell you about that. But the other 2, they went okay. I had them recorded. I'll have them posted. The first one that I did, now, this was, again, me more at my baseline earlier with my supplements and stuff and trying to see, like, how things were. My technique that I was using for this mediumship reading was something that they taught me at Arthur Findlay College, and that was don't ask spirit questions, just allow them to say whatever they want to say to the person because, they came for a reason, they want to share their messages. So I was like, okay, I'm not going to ask questions. I didn't think that went as good as it could have went. Honestly, I was like, I wish it was more specific, but I just stuck with it for like the 30-minute reading. And yeah, but anyway, I forgot to record it. And I'm mad at myself because I can't even remember the evidence that did come through because it's been like 3 weeks. So anyway, but again, I think that it could have been better. I actually recorded the second video doing the same technique. I feel like this one was basically the same. I think it was basically the same as the first reading. And again, I wasn't asking questions. I think I maybe asked like 1 or 2 questions or something. But other than that, I was just like, Spirit, like you bring me the information. Tell me what you want me to say to the sitter. And I was kind of struggling. I wasn't struggling, but like I just thought it could be better. So the third reading that I did, that one I think went a lot better. There was a lot of very, very specific evidence that came out, and I was actually pretty shocked. So that was cool. And that one, my technique was asking questions like, tell me about your personality. Tell me about what you did for work. Tell me about, this, that, and the third. So that's how that reading went. And I think that it went really cool because we got some really good evidence that came through. So I think that my channel is definitely clearing up. But also, I just have to be honest, when you practice mediumship on a regular basis, you're going to get better at doing it. So again, I'm being very strategic on this whole process of bettering myself in my mediumship and then also my health and combining the two. So this reading, I remember the most significant piece that I feel like I got. Well, I got 2 that are standing out to me right now that I want to talk about. The first one was that I was like, does your grandfather play chess at all? Because I'm getting this like chess piece. And she's like, oh my gosh, yes. And she was like, he used chess as a metaphor for like everything in his life. Like, if something happened, he would use a metaphor about chess to describe it. So that was really cool. The other thing was his way of passing. I was just right there. I did jump the gun a little bit too soon if I'm like analyzing the reading now. But I asked the spirit, I was like, okay, can you tell me, like, was your passing, was it natural? Was it a accident? Do you take responsibility for, your passing? And it was almost like a gas gauge. I saw like a little like needle, and it was like right in the center between accident and natural causes. And I was like, okay. I was like, would you understand your grandfather passing away from natural causes? However, it could have been prevented. And she was like, yes. So I was like, oh, cool. I'm getting chills talking about it again. But then I was like, okay, I went deeper with the spirit. I was like, okay, now tell me what happened. What happened? How did it happen? And I got the sensation like in my chest area. I was able to rule out the lungs, which usually I get overwhelmed with the whole sensation. And I'm just like, I don't know if it's the heart, the lungs, or, breast cancer even. I mean, this was a guy, so usually that wouldn't happen with the man. It can happen to men, I guess. But I was like, okay, what is this? And I was like, okay, I'm pretty sure it's the heart. And I said, would you understand the condition that he passed away from being involved with his heart? And she was like, yes. Now, this is where I jumped the gun, because I was like, oh, heart attack. I have a little chest pain here. It wasn't a heart attack. It was a stroke. And if I would have waited just probably a little bit longer, I probably would have had that clarity, and I would have said that, because there are several things in my memory that spirit could have just placed in my mind to tell me that it was a stroke. So I was like, okay. But still, I did really good with those other first pieces of information. So I was happy about that. One thing I learned about my mediumship is that I've always done this. I've always had a notebook. I've always scribbled. And I've noticed that, like, usually when I scribble, like, I'm not conscious of like what I'm writing or what I'm scribbling or any of that. Like, I'm more focused on the connection that I have with the spirit and focusing on the information that they're bringing me and like what it actually, like what it means. Okay. And I'm sharing that with the person. So while I'm scribbling, half the time I'm not even looking at it. I don't know what's on the paper until I look down. And half the time on there is a bunch of like significant symbols, significant letters, numbers, dates, and stuff that are written on my notebook. So that is something that I've been noticing a lot more recently. There's been many instances where I like was scribbling and I was like, oh, that scribble kind of looks like the number 38. And they were like, oh my gosh, like they passed away when they were 38. Or, I wrote the letter T. Now this was for the third reading when I wrote the letter T, and I didn't say it because I didn't notice it on the paper until after the reading. And when I was asking for the name, I couldn't get the name, probably because he already gave me the letter that it started with, but I would have never got the name anyway, just because it was very different. But it did start with a T. I wrote down T, did not say it in the reading because I didn't see it. And I was like, oh my God, he told me, he had it on there on the paper. And then the other cool thing in this third reading that I did is I had like this little symbol. It's like a circle with a little cross in it. And I was like, and that makes me just think immediately to hunting. I was like, oh, like the scope on like a rifle or something like that. And she was like, no, he wasn't a hunter, but she did recognize the symbol. She was like, my grandmother had these little sun catchers like all around her porch. And they look like that. They're like the little circles with like the little like crosses like in them. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. So yeah, so that was the reading. I think that they have been getting better each time. Every time I do a reading, I do analyze it. Not in a way of critiquing myself, but more in a way of like, what did I do good? What could I have done better? How am I going to improve next time? I feel like that in conjunction with my health changes is going to be beautiful soon. So again, I will be posting these videos. I have another one this Friday that I'm going to be doing, and I'll be posting that one. I'm excited for that one too. And yes, so please stay tuned. I am behind on my editing. I'm just going to forewarn you. I can't remember if I said that in the beginning of the video or not, but I am behind on my editing. So yeah, I'm going to try to post this one first. And then I have a video for Authority Magazine, which is like the 5 things about developing your intuition or something. So that'll be coming out. And then I'll have the mediumship videos coming out. And also my podcast episode. It was a roundtable conversation with some of my great medium friends. And we were all talking about the your spiritual journey in the beginning, and basically like all throughout your spiritual journey, and like dealing with skeptics and dealing with judgment, and how we overcome that. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great episode. I'm actually going to be trying to work on that next. So it's like this video, my 5 things video, because that has a deadline, and then the podcast, and then the mediumship videos. Until next time, my friends. Bye-bye.